Hi friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss about arrays in JavaScript, like how to create an array, how to access the elements in the array, how to update the values which are there in the array, how to insert a new element in the array, how can you delete the elements from the array. All these concepts I will discuss in detail for you. I sincerely request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. We know about the variable. Using the variable, we can store only one literal. Suppose if I use var and then if I write the name of the variable and if I write 10, if I try to print the value which is there in the variable a, I will get the output as 10. Suppose if I write console.log a, I'll get the value as 10. Later if I change the a value, then I will get the output as 20. Because in a variable at a time you can store only one value. If I want to store some 10 values, then I need to create 10 unique variables. That is fine. If I want to store some 1 lakh values, then I need to create 1 lakh unique variables. That will be a tedious task because a variable can able to store one value. If you want to store 10 lakh values, then you need to create 10 lakh unique variables. To overcome this one, JavaScript supports array concept. So array are used to store multiple values. You can store multiple values using an array. So I can say that array is an object that represents a collection of similar type of elements. Using an array, you can able to store collection of similar type of elements only. Suppose if I want to store all the integers, I can do it. If I want to store a collection of float literals, I can do it. If I want to store collection of strings, that also I can do it. So I can say array is an object that represents a collection of similar type of elements. Now let me discuss how can we create an array. We can create an array in two ways. First, if I want to create the array directly, I will write var keyword and then I will write the some variable b and then I will store collection of elements. Then I can create Now let me discuss how can we create an array. We can create an array in two ways. First, we can create directly. I will use the var keyword and then variable name and I can store collection of elements. If I write like this, a array Now let me discuss how can we create an array. We can create an array in two ways, using the new keyword and without using the new keyword. Now if I want to create an array without using new keyword, I can write the var, which is a keyword to define a variable, and then I will write the name of the array and I will keep the collection of elements. Now you are creating an array with a name called b. Or if you want to create an array using the new keyword, that also you can do. You can use the var keyword, name of the array, and then you need to use the new keyword and then array, and then you can provide the list of elements. Now these two are the ways to create an array. Now the array b is able to store collection of 3 integer literals. Similarly, array a is also able to store 3 Now let me discuss how can we create an array. We can create an array in two ways, using the new keyword without using the new keyword. First let me discuss how can you create an array without using the new keyword. You need to define the variable name. Now let me discuss how can you create an array. We can create an array in two ways. One is using the new keyword and without using the new keyword. First let me discuss how can you create an array using the new keyword. You need to write the keyword var and the name of the array, and then you need to use the new keyword and then array, and then you need to provide list of elements. What are the elements you want to store in the array A, you need to provide here. So this array A is able to store collection of 4 integer literals, which is 10, 20, 30, 40 respectively. Similarly, I can create an array B and then I can provide 10, 20, 30, 40. Now these are the two ways you can create an array. So one is using the new keyword without using the new keyword. Now you can ask me, sir, if I write var A is equal to new array and if I provide 10, now will it be having only 10 element, or is it giving in space for storing 10 elements? Remember one important point. Lot of people will think that, sir, as you have provided here 10, 20, 30, 40, you said 4 array elements will be stored. Okay. As you have specified. So here we have provided 10, 20, 30, 40. So I can say in the array A, 4 elements are stored. Similarly, if I write 10 here, will it able to store only one element, which is 10? No, it is absolutely wrong. Then what it is? It will create a space for storing the 10 elements. We have the length property. The length property specifies the size of an array. If you write a dot length, it will give the output as 10 for you. Whereas var b is equal to new array, if I provide 1, 2, then what it is meaning? It will create the 2 elements with the name of the array is b. So in the 0th index you will have the 1 and in the first index you will have 2. So you have 2 elements. Remember one important point, if you provide only one argument, then it will be the size of the array. If you provide more than one argument, then it will consider as an array elements. So if I write var c is equal to 10, what is this meaning? Now it is only one element, which is 10 only one element. So here if you write c dot length, you will get the output as 1. Similarly, if you write a dot length, so you have a length property which is useful to specify the size of an array. Here you will get the 4 and here also you will get the 4, whereas here you will get the length as 10, here you will get the length as 2 because you are storing 2 elements. So I hope you have understood how to create an array. If you want to understand practically, let me discuss with a simple example. I will create a array A with the help of new keyword and I will specify 10, 20, 30, 40. Now if I want to find the type of the variable A, then you will get it as an object because array is an object, right? So if you want to know type of any variable, you need to use the type of operator. I want to know the type of the variable A. So that's why I have written console.log type of A. As I said earlier, you will get the output as object. If you want to verify, let me execute this program. So you got the output as object. If you want to find the number of elements are there in this variable A, then you can write console.log and then you can write a.length. Now how many elements are there in this array A? 4 elements are there, which are 10, 20, 30, 40. So this will give the output as 4 for you. See? And another way you can create an array is you can simply write var b and you can specify the collection of elements. I will write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if I write console.log and if I specify type of b, then you can find what it will give the output for you. See, as I said earlier, as it is an array, if you provide the type of that variable, you will get the output as object. Similarly, if I write console.log b.length, the length property is useful to find the size of the array. The array b is able to store collection of 5 elements, so it will give the output as 5 for you. So this is the way you can create an array. Now we have discussed one more interesting point, right? If I say var c is equal to new array and if I specify 5, then lot of people will think that it is creating an array with one element which is 5. That is absolutely wrong. If you want to verify, then let me write console.log c.length. Now what is the value it will give? It will give the output as 5, because in the array, if you provide only one argument, that argument is specifies the size of the array. If you want to verify, let me execute it. See, as I said earlier, you got the output as 5 because you are creating an array with the name c, which is able to store collection of 5 elements. If I write var d is equal to, if I simply specify 5 and if I write console.log then d.length, it will give the output as 1 for you. If you want to verify, look at here, let me execute it. See, we got the output as 1, because if you use the new keyword and specify only one element, then it specifies the number of elements. But without using the new keyword, if you specify only one element, then it will consider as an element only. So the array d is able to store only one element, which value is 5. So that's why if I use the array name d dot length property, it has given the output as 1 for you. So this is the way we can create an array. Now let me discuss how can we access the elements in an array. Using the index, we can access any element randomly in the array. Now look at here, I have created an array A having 4 elements which are 10, 20, 30, 40. Remember one important point, always the array index start from 0. So in the 0th index, you will have the first element which is 10. In the first index, you will have the next element 20. In the second index, you will have the next element 30. In the third index, you will have the next element 40. So this is the way we can have the index. So always the array index starts from 0. In the 0th index, you will have the first element. In the first index, you will have the second element. In the second index, you will have the third element. In the third index, you will have the fourth element. Like that, you will have the array elements. Now, if you want to access any particular element, then you need to provide the array name and then you need to provide the index. Suppose if I want to print the value which is there in the array A at the second index, then I need to write console.log array name is A and I want to find an element which is there at the second index, so I need to provide the index as 2. Then it will give the output as 30 for you. So like this you can have Now let me discuss how can we practically verify this one. I have created one array, and then as I said earlier, in the 0th index you will have the first element which is 10, in the first index you will have the next element 20, in the second index you will have the next element 30, in the third index you will have the next element 40. If I write console.log and if I say the name of the array and if I provide the some index, now I am providing the index as 1. In first index of the array A, what value is there? 20 is there. If you want to verify, let me execute it for you. See, we got the output as 20. Okay, similarly, if I provide the index as 3, in the third index what value is there? 40 is there. So if I save and execute this program, I will get the output as 40. Now you will have one doubt, sir, array index is starting from 0 and in this case it is ending up to 3. If I provide an array index of 5, then what will happen? Because you does not have the fifth index. If it does not have the fifth index, what value will be stored here? Now in other programming languages it will give a runtime error for you, like index out of range error, but in the JavaScript you will get the output as undefined. If you want to verify, you can see we have not defined a fifth index in the array A, so that is what the output you will get. You will get undefined. If whenever you are accessing an element which is not there, okay, or if you are accessing an element which is there in a particular index, so this is the way you can access the elements in the array. Now let me discuss how can we update the elements in an array. Let's consider that you have created an array some C. Now let me discuss how can you update the elements in an array. Let's consider that you have created an array C with some elements. Suppose let's take that you have created an array C. Now let me discuss how can you update the elements in an array. So first let me create an array variable name. Now let me discuss how can we update the elements in an array. If you want to update the elements in an array, first let me create an array. So I will write var keyword and the name of the array is C, and let's consider that I'm storing 45, 67, 34, 7, 8. Then in the 0th index you will have 45, in the first index you will have 67, in the second index you will have 34, in the third index you will have 7, in the fourth index you will have 8. Now if I write a of 0 is equal to now if I want to update the value which is there in the first index, right now what is the value is there? 67. If I want to update it to 670, then how can I do is that I can write the array name and I can provide the index, and I need to use the assignment operator, and then I need to provide the value, what value I want to store there. If I want to store 670 in the array C at the first index, I need to write name of the array is C and the index is 1. Now if I write 670, then in the second Then in the first index, in place of 67, it will store 670. If you display all the elements in the array, then you will get the output as 670. If you want to verify, let me discuss with an example. Okay, let me write a of 2 is equal to, in second index what value is there? 30. Let me store it as 45, and then if I write console.log in the array A at the second index, what value is there? If I execute this program, you will get the output as 45. Then you can ask me, sir, in place of 2, if I provide the index as 5, then now you can ask me, sir, in fifth index there is nothing, because you have in the 0th index 10 is there, in the first index 20 is there, in second index 30 is there, in third index 40 is there. Now if I am trying to access the element which is there in the fifth index, we got the output as undefined. Then in the index 4, what value will be there? Now let me discuss how can we update the elements in the array. We can create an array. So I will create an array where, now let me discuss how can we update the elements in an array. What is meant by updating an element in the array? Let's consider that you have created an array and you have collection of elements. Now at the particular index, instead of particular value, you want to update some other value. That is possible in array. So first let me create an array. So I have created an array called C, and I have 45, 67, 89, 1, 2. Then in the 0th index, you will have the element 45. In the first index, you will have the element 67. In the second index, you have the element 89. In the third index, you will have the element 1. In the fourth index, you have the element 2. Now what I will do, I will write, now I want to update the element which is there at the second index. In the second index, what element is there? 89. In place of 89, I want to store 98. Then how can I do is that I need to provide the array name, and I need to provide the index, and I need to use the assignment operator, and then I need to provide the value. Here the array name is C, and then index is 2 and value is 98. So in second index, in place of 89, you will get 98. If you want to verify, let me discuss with an example. Already we have created an array A with elements 10, 20, 30, 40. So in 0th index you have 10, in first index you have 20, in second index you have 30, in third index you have 40. Now if I write the array name and I provide the index as 3, in place of 40, if I am storing 50, then if I write console.log a of 3, in place of 40, you will get the output as 50. If you want to verify, let me execute it. See, we got the output as 50. Now you will get one more doubt. Sir, earlier when we have provided the value which is there in the fifth index, we got the output as undefined, because here you have only 4 elements. So from the 0th index you will have up to third index. So if you are trying to print the value which is there after the third index, you got the output as undefined. Now if I write a of 5 is equal to 50, then meaning is what? In fifth index you will have the element 50. Then in the fourth index, what element will be there? Then you will have undefined. If you want to verify, let me display what are the elements which are there in the 0th index, in the first index, and in the second index, third index, fourth index, and fifth index. So I need to write console.log a of 0, console.log a of 1, console.log a of 2, console.log a of 3, similarly console.log a of 4, and then a of 5. Then in the 0th index you will get the output as 10. In first index you will get the output as 20. In second index you will get 30. In the third index you will get 40. In fourth index you will get undefined. In fifth index you will get 50. If you want to verify, let me save this program and execute it for you. So as I said earlier, you got 10, 20, 30, 40. Oh, we have not written a of 5 is equal to 50. That statement somehow we have missed it. Now let me save this program and let me execute it for you. See, now we got the output as 10, 20, 30, 40, undefined and 50. Then you can ask me, sir, if I want to display all the elements in the array, should I need to write these many times console.log? No. Without using this one, with the help of for loop, we can access all the elements in the array, or I can say we can display all the elements in the array. So how can I do? I need to use the for keyword. In the for loop, I will have the initialization, condition and iteration will be there. So I will define a variable. So I will write where I is equal to 0, and then I will write for keyword. In the for keyword, I will have I will write for loop. In the for loop, I will have initialization, condition and iteration. If the condition is true, what are the statements you have defined in the for loop will be executed. So I will write for, and before that I will define a variable I, and then I will assign that value to 0 because I want to display the elements which is there from the 0th index. So I will write I is equal to 0 is my initialization, and then I want to verify the condition up to the last index. So how can I find the number of elements in the array? With the help of length property, and then I will write I plus plus, and then inside the curly braces I will write console.log a of I. Then what will happen is all the elements from 0th index to 5th index will be displayed. If you want to verify, let me execute this program. See, we got all the elements 10, 20, 30, 40, undefined 50. How we got this output? Let me discuss it for you. So I have written I is equal to 0. So I value has been assigned to 0, and the condition I have verified is I should be less than a dot length. The length property will give you the number of elements. Here how many elements are there? 6 elements are there from 0th index to 5th index. So a dot length will give the output as 6 for you. So I is less than 6. So what is the I value? 0. So 0 is less than 6. So the for loop condition is true. As the for loop condition is true, the statements which are there in the for loop will be executed. Console.log a of I. What is the value of I? 0. So in the array A, at the 0th index, what element is there? 10. That has been displayed. Once all the statements which are there in the for loop has been completed, the control will go to the iteration I plus plus. I value is 0, so I value will be incremented by 1. So I value will become 1. Once it completed the iteration, again it will verify the condition. What is the condition? I should be less than 6. What is the I value? 1. So 1 is less than 6. So for loop condition is true. Again the statements which are there in the for loop will be executed. In the array A, first index, what element is there? 20. That has been displayed. Then I value will be again iterated. So I value will become 2. Then again it will verify the condition. 2 is less than 6. So the for loop condition is true. So then it will display the element which is there at the second index. So 30 has been displayed. Then I value will become 3. 3 is less than 6. Again the for loop condition is true. Then it will display the element which is there at the third index, which is 40 will be displayed. Then I value will become 4. 4 is less than 6. condition is true, then it will display the element which is there in the fourth index, which is undefined. Then I value will become 5. 5 is less than 6, so the for loop condition is true. Then it will display the element which is there at the fifth index, which is 50 has been displayed. Then I value will become 6. Is 6 is less than 6? No. 6 is equal to 6. So the for loop condition is false. If the for loop condition is false, the statements which are there in the for loop will not be executed. So like this, you can display all the elements in the array using the for loop. Now let me discuss how can we delete an element from the array. If you look at here in the array C, you have the elements 45, 67, 89, 1 and 2. Now if I want to delete a particular element, then I need to use delete, and then I need to provide the array name, and then I need to provide the index, in which index you want to delete the element. Suppose let's take that here I am providing delete. The D should be in lowercase. So if I write delete in the array C at the first 0th index, at 0th index what element is there, I want to delete it. Then what element is there? 45 is there. That 45 will be deleted. In place of 45 you will get undefined. Once the 45 has been deleted, in the 0th index you will get undefined. So the delete keyword is useful to delete a particular element from the array. If you want to verify, let me discuss with an example. Now let me write delete a of 0. In the 0th index you have 10. So 10 will be deleted. In place of 10 you will get undefined. Now if I display all the elements in the array, you will get the output as undefined 20, 30, 40, undefined 50. If you want to verify, let me execute it. As I said earlier, in place of 10 you will get undefined. Similarly, if I write delete in the array A, at the second index I want to delete the element. In the second index you have 30. So 30 will be deleted. In place of 30 you will get undefined. Now let me save this program and execute it for you. If I execute it, I will get the output as undefined 20, undefined 40, undefined 50. Now you can verify. So at the 0th index you have deleted 10. So after deleting the 10 you got undefined. Then in the first index you have 20. In second index you have 30. That also you have deleted. So undefined came. In the third index you have 40. In fifth index you have 50. In fourth index undefined. So like this we can delete an element from the array. I hope you have understood how to create an array, how to access the elements in an array, how to update the elements in the array, how to insert a new element in the array, how to display all the elements in the array, and how to delete a particular element from the array. Then I want to discuss one more important point. How can you verify whether this array name is an array or not? Let's consider that I have created an array A. Now I want to verify, is it really an array or not? If I want to do it, we have a method called isArray. If you provide the array name, whatever the name of the array you have provided, it will verify is it an array or not. If it is an array, it will display the output as true, else it will display the output as false. So I will write console.log and then I will write array dot is array, and then I need to provide the name of the array. So here I am providing the name of the array is A. So A is an array, so it will get the output as true for you. Suppose let's consider that I have created a normal variable having the value 10. Now if I write console.log array dot is array, in place of A if I provide B, is B is an array? No. So it will give the output as false for you. Look at here, we got the output as false. So isArray method is useful to verify whether a particular variable is an array or not. I hope you have understood what are the concepts I have discussed in this video. Like I have discussed how can you create an array, how to access the elements in an array, how to update the elements which are there in an array, how to insert a new element in an array, how to delete an elements from the array, how to display all the elements in the array. In the next video, I will discuss the methods which are there in the array. Like we have the join method, sort method, reverse method, push method, pop method, shift method, unshift method, concat method. Like that we have several methods in the array. So all these methods I will discuss in the next video. I hope you have understood all the concepts which I have discussed in this video. If you still have any doubts, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.